Alright guys, welcome back for another video. So, had some bad news. Yesterday we went to drive the S13 here and just go back over the tune with the new fuel pump. Getting some good pulls out of it, seemed fine. We were just cruising. Engine just sounded like a box of rocks suddenly, just in cruise. So, we don't know if something snapped inside yet or what's going on. But I pulled the coolant and oil so far, so we got our buckets down here. And realistically, it's black, but there's no like sparklies going on. So I don't know if maybe the camshaft snapped or like the crank or just something crazy, but we're gonna get this pulled out and just bring it over to the machine shop right away and tear it down there so that we get a better idea. We're not losing any parts or anything. So get it all drained. Gonna pop off the hood on the car here. Take this off. Probably take off, we'll leave our manifolds on for now just so we have something to pull to unless we can get our strap underneath the pan. But whatever's easier, we just got to take off the harness, a couple peripheral things, and then we can set up our hoist and get the whole thing out. And trans has to come out with the engine, can't do it separately on this just because the CDO09 is so big. But yeah, pretty much it. Oh well. Stuff happens, so we'll get it rebuilt pretty quick, hopefully. We have an event in 2 days, so we are going to end up taking the chaser now too. So I was messing around with the throttle to limit the boost, so limiting it to like 80 or so percent throttle, like up in the high RPMs. We are bringing it down to like 17 psi, so we should be around like the 600 horsepower mark. And it shouldn't just blow off the tires as easily and less wear on the clutch. Alright, so update number one. Pulled off the intake manifold. I heard something shaking around in there. As you can see, there's a bunch of debris here. And if we come over to the table, so I unfortunately brushed it all off the table already to not be able to show as much, but I'm guessing, yeah, I kind of wiped off, but it was all kind of material like this, and it was probably filling up this much of the table. So we can see if we can get a little view here, which you can't really, but you can kind of hear it shaking around in there. So I wonder if we just ate a bolt or something. So our two throttle body bolts are in there, but you could see some debris there on the bottom too. So it was honestly probably part of the intercooler from the initial crash, is my only guess at the moment until we get more apart. But we're not going to know entirely what's wrong with this until obviously it all gets torn down. And then I noticed when taking off the downpipe, the wastegate dump tube had fallen off, so that's not too big of a deal, but it is just something I've noticed as well. Alright, so we took a couple breaks. Ended up trying to pull out the engine with the trans combo, but it was not coming out by itself just because of our strap setup. So ended up able to get the trans out. It was a little goofy getting in here and like with the bottom base plate on the lift getting in the way of the trans jack, so I had to like lift up one wheel over it to get it to go back enough. It was a little sketchy, and just getting over, we have this big old twin plate in here. So now we can pull out the engine assembly and then take off the rest from there, pop this in the truck, and possibly take it to the machine shop tomorrow. I just have to check if he's going to be there, which he usually is. So now we can get this out of the way, put it wherever in the garage, got the hoist over there ready, and this should hopefully just pull out without issue. All the harness is disconnected, and yeah, pretty simple from there. Alright, so we had a quick customer drop off, this E36 over here. We're going to be putting a link ECU in this one, but it's like built bottom end, turbo, E85, so going to be pushing a lot of power on that. Back over to the S13, we're starting to yoink out the motor, and then we'll be able to move it to the side of the garage and just get it ready to take to the machine shop, like I said before. So nothing else is attached, so we don't have to worry about snagging on anything, and just gonna get this out, and it might be it. I gotta check out how long the footage is. We might have some footage over at the machine shop, which you guys might have seen in some other videos. We're gonna go to MWR over in Elwood, so he does a lot of the SRs in the local area, and yeah. All right, so now everything's all nice and organized. You don't want to just throw all your parts everywhere, because when this does go back together in whatever, a month or so, you don't want to lose anything or forget where anything goes. So have our downpipe, intake manifold, injectors over there, which we're going to bag up, trans, to pull those bolts off from the lift, and then as you take stuff off like the clutch, I'm going to keep those spots in, exhaust manifold bolts, etc., etc. But yeah, because the internal bolts, there's a lot of those as well, and you don't want to mix those up and not have a special internal bolt that is now on the outside and vice versa. Alright, so we just got over to the Autobahn for the drift day today. We brought the Chaser here. Got a decent amount of cars that showed up. Still waiting on Joe, Stevie, Brian, and Travis. So when they get here, we might get some tandems going. We'll see.
Oh, hell yeah.
New paint job for Brian.
Looks cool, don't it?
Here's the reveal.
Minus no hood and no wings and no sunroof.
Uh-oh. This dude's catching
that.
rain. Iced up wheels. All right, got back from the track, so that's going to leave it up for this video. We'll pick back up dropping off our SR20 at the machine shop on the next one. Car did good. Big drifts.
Yeah.
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 All right, so that'll finish it up and catch you guys in the next one.